Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, the Steelworkers Union of Trinidad and Tobago is calling for urgent state intervention after 48 workers at Crystal Stream, a bottled water and beverage company located at the Frederick Settlement Eteck Park in Caroni, were sent home without severance following the sudden closure of the facility. The company is expected to close its doors at the end of next month, which has triggered alarm within the labor movement, with union officials warning that the situation bears striking similarities to the 2016 ArcelorMittal shutdown, where hundreds of workers were left without terminal benefits after liquidation, and sadly, the government at that time did not intervene. I hope and pray that the Kamala Prasad administration could do something about this. Or is it that their hands are tied? Are there laws in place to ensure that these companies, after using employees for years upon years to be able to enrich themselves, you just cast them aside and say, okay, folks, go home, that's it. No, people, that is unfair, and we need justice for these individuals. I fully support the call for government intervention. The question is, do they have the rights to intervene? Those outside there who are experts, those who are outside there who know a lot about the law, I just have a lot of common sense, but I don't know much about the law itself. I do a lot of research at times, so and I could probably get into it. But those who are ready, though, comment and let me know what it is. Could the government intervene on behalf of these workers?
I got this news on Saturday. I went back 10 years. It was like metal all over again. And I, being a progressive trade union leader, cannot sit by and allow these workers to suffer, even if it's 40 workers.
Referring to the Retrenchment and Severance Benefits Amendment Bill 2026, which was introduced in the Senate on April 14, 2026, Mr. Bailey expressed genuine optimism about the government's stated commitment to providing assistance to affected workers.
And something the Attorney General said Friday that I must applaud him, that the government policy is that they would not sit by and allow workers to be left to pasture and to starve while companies going through problems. As a government policy, and against that background, we are saying that Crystal, the beverage company, Miss Maria Daniel, these individuals should not be allowed to terminate these workers without any separation benefit, and they should be paid their terminal benefits.
He said that workers are human beings and deserve a measure of protection and security when companies shut their doors.
We are hoping that the Parliament intervenes and ensures that no company, especially this company, could get away with any technicality. 2 days after the President of the Senate says that they're bringing a bill, you terminate these workers on the 16th?
Mr. Bailey said they are prepared to take all actions permitted under the law to secure justice for the retrenched workers.
A new government-led initiative is targeting entrepreneurship as a pathway to independence for, listen, blind and visually impaired citizens. Wonderful news. After being ignored and abandoned by the PNM the past 9.5 years, the whole of independence by extension, a 5-day pilot program was launched on Monday, bringing internationally recognized business training directly to members of the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association. My response: did Zami Young propose this new initiative too? We're waiting for a press conference from you, Zami. When is his next news conference, or is he too busy beating with communists in other countries to take credit for this? Zami, we waiting. You come back from having your tour, as I don't know in what capacity that you're going just touring all over the place. Zami, let us know that.
Weather report for Wednesday, April 29, 2026, Trinidad and Tobago. General conditions. The day is expected to be predominantly sunny, hazy, and hot across both islands with a 20% chance of isolated brisk showers. High temperatures will reach approximately 32 to 33 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and 31 to 32 degrees Celsius in Tobago. Saharan dust will be present in mild to moderate concentrations, so sensitive persons should take the necessary precautions. The night will be fair but hazy with a minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius. Marine and coastal hazards. A yellow level hazardous seas alert remains in effect until 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Long-period northeasterly swells are expected to cause large breakers and dangerous nearshore conditions, especially along the north and east coasts. Seas are moderate with waves 1.5 to 2.0 meters in open waters and less than 1.0 meter in sheltered areas. Regional temperature forecasts. Port of Spain, high of 29 degrees Celsius, low of 24 degrees Celsius. San Fernando, high of 31 degrees Celsius, low of 24 degrees Celsius. Chaguanas, high of 30 degrees Celsius, low of 23 degrees Celsius. Crown Point, high of 31 degrees Celsius, low of 25 degrees Celsius.
Regional news now. A major stretch of Guyana's backlands is being transformed through an extensive utility corridor and infrastructural program linking the west bank of Demerara to the east coast and beyond. Telling you, expansion, development taking place in Guyana at an exponential rate, people. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nanlal said the works form part of a wider national development push that many citizens may not be fully aware of due to the remote location of the projects that are bolstering the nation's energy sector. The National Solid Waste Management Authority in Jamaica has reaffirmed its commitment to transparency and public service following an internal audit that exposed significant irregularities in its hiring practices. A lot of those irregularities took place under the PNM in Trinidad. In response to the findings, the agency is emphasizing a renewed focus on accountability, aiming to restore public trust while addressing the systemic flaws identified in the recruitment process. Yeah, but it still has the same leadership. It still has the same leadership. How people regain confidence in you. To ensure long-term integrity, the NSWMA is moving to strengthen its internal controls and oversight mechanisms. Also, you're probably blaming somebody at the lower ranking. All right. This proactive stance is designed to rectify the highlighted administrative gaps. Oh, it's like a technical error, like the $2.7 billion technical error in Trinidad and Tobago under the PNM. Ensuring that all future personnel decisions align with established standards of governance and serve the best interests of the Jamaican public. I know I have viewers from Jamaica. Tell me what's your opinion about this issue. An ambitious plan to strengthen and modernize the water sector in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is on the horizon, with approximately $50 million earmarked for a major climate-focused initiative, according to Executive Director of the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, Colin Young. Speaking at the opening of a recently held climate adaptation action workshop at Beachcombers Hotel, Young revealed that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, through its climate resilience efforts, has submitted a proposal to the Green Climate Fund. The initiative is expected to focus heavily on transforming water systems, particularly in the Grenadines, where water access and sustainability remain key concerns. My response: hopefully, though, this isn't the Democrats' Green New Deal that you're all talking about. Otherwise, get ready to stop rearing cows and owning cars. As I said, personally, I'm sort of midway. I'm sort of center when it pertains to climate change. I do believe that pollution and so forth will be affecting our atmosphere, and we have to reduce the amount of pollution in our nations throughout the entire world. Tell China about that for sure. All right, all the globalists outside there, try and talk to China about that, please, because America, definitely one of the Republicans, ensure that pollution is limited to a great extent. But of course, the conservatives kind of go a little too far. They don't really like the renewable energy that much. I think we need to do both. I believe that we need to continue using the fossil fuels and the non-renewable energy, the oil to be able to continue to provide services throughout the entire world in every respective country, and also to generate much needed revenue. But we also need to invest a whole lot more in non-renewable energy. Balance, people. The Bible says to do everything in moderation, you know.
We are currently working with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to finalize and submit to the Green Climate Fund a project entitled SVG Clear, with an indicative budget of over $50 million US, 40 million of which is expected to be in grants. SVG Clear will transform St. Vincent's water sector, particularly in the Grenadines, the most water-scarce islands in St. Vincent. Activities include, inter alia, the construction of 4 desal plants, 3 water treatment facilities, and improved community storage infrastructure, and many other activities, all aimed at building the resilience of this critical sector to the effects of climate change. Sustainable agriculture, for example, depends on predictable rainfall patterns, adequate soil health, breaks from hurricanes, and of course low levels of pests and diseases. Tourism depends on reef integrity and coastal stability, and reduced loss and damage of critical infrastructure like water, electricity, and accommodations, all of which can suffer catastrophic damage from the passage of one major hurricane. The blue economy depends on fisheries that are already under pressure from warming seas and changing ocean currents. The new economy, built on innovation and enterprise and entrepreneurship, cannot be constructed on a foundation that climate change is actively undermining and destroying. The National Adaptation Plan you have revised and the sectoral adaptation plans reflect these priorities. Over the next 3 days, this workshop will do critical work, review these plans for tourism and for coastal and marine systems.
President of Commonwealth Sport, Dr. Donald Rajkumar, hailed the executive board's recent visit to Barbados as a significant success, marking a key milestone in regional sporting relations. The visit allowed leadership to engage directly with local stakeholders, reinforcing the partnership between the Commonwealth Games Federation and the island's athletic community. The high-level mission focused on assessing Barbados' sporting infrastructure and exploring future hosting opportunities to elevate Caribbean representation on the global stage. Dr. Rajkumar's positive assessment underscores a shared vision for growth, suggesting that the island remains a pivotal hub for Commonwealth sport development and international collaboration. Putting aside my disappointment with Mia Mottley when it pertains to her relationship with globalists around the world and how she's befriending Venezuela and basically ignoring the concerns from her CARICOM neighbor, Irfan Ali in Guyana. She is governing her country quite well. You see, that's the thing with me. I could oppose you on a lot of different issues, but I will give credit when credit is due. Tensions have intensified as public service workers in the Bahamas gathered to protest outside the office of the Prime Minister just days ahead of the general election. Hopefully this isn't politically motivated. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. The demonstrations are voicing frustrations over stalled promotions and delayed salary reviews, highlighting a perceived lack of fairness as other departments within the public service have reportedly seen advances. If you expect anything to continue right now when it's election season, it wouldn't be right to make any sort of agreements right now, wouldn't it? I mean, come on. You need to pause, wait, and see who's going to win the next elections. Then you can protest. The timing of the protest underscores the urgency of the workers' demand for equitable treatment and advanced administrative transparency during this critical period. Now, of course, maybe it's just a statement for anyone who is coming into office, including the present government or political party. As the election approaches, these concerns over labor relations and compensation equity have moved to the forefront of the national conversation, prompting calls for a swift resolution to ongoing disputes. Yeah, but that swift resolution will only come, people, after the elections. International news now. King Charles III underscored the priceless and eternal bond between the United Kingdom and the United States during a historic address to a joint session of Congress, marking only the second time a British monarch has addressed the body. The king used the platform to celebrate the enduring alliance and shared democratic values that unite the two nations. The address highlighted a commitment to global stability and future cooperation. Well, you're not supporting America at all at this point in time, King Charles, specifically referencing the importance of defending the rule of law and international security. This landmark speech served to reinforce the special relationship and a pivotal movement receiving widespread bipartisan support and multiple standing ovations from lawmakers. King Charles, when you go back to England, probably you have already gone back, talk to your prime minister and tell him to stop allowing jihadists to enforce Sharia law in England and probably in other regions as well. You looking as though you're trying to tell Trump to calm down in a nice diplomatic way. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Trump is not gonna allow Iran to be able to develop nuclear weapons. It ain't gonna happen, people. And although I'm disappointed that he didn't finish the job when it pertains to the war in Iran, he's doing a good job when it pertains to the blockade. The blockade. Iran is bypassing American sanctions, transferring oil to China over land via railway. The plan shortens the time to 15 days instead of 40 by sea. Iran aims for more than 2 million barrels per day and bypasses the supervision of the American Navy. So you see what's going on there? And China, of course, the sweetheart of the tribals in the Caribbean, sweetheart, they are assisting Iran to continue to generate revenue in spite of the same blockade. That's why I said before, most likely Trump will have no choice but to finish the job in Iran because the communists around the world, Russia and China, will find ways to continue to sponsor terrorism in that nation of Iran.
Bible quote of the day. Isaiah chapter 60 verses 18 to 22 NIV. No longer will violence be heard in your land, nor ruin or destruction within your borders, but you will call your walls salvation and your gates praise. The sun will no more be your light by day, nor will the brightness of the moon shine on you, for the Lord will be your everlasting light, and your God will be your glory. Your sun will never set again, and your moon will wane no more. The Lord will be your everlasting light, and your days of sorrow will end. Then all your people will be righteous, and they will possess the land forever. They are the shoot I have planted, the work of my hands, for the display of my splendor. The least of them will become 1,000, the smallest a mighty nation. I am the Lord, in its time I will do this swiftly.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.